is my screen. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Crafts with John. I'm not sure why I've got no video here. What's going on? There we go. Let's see if the camera works now. There we go. Sorry about that. Having a rough time with the camera here. I walked into the house last night after being away for a few days, came down here to the room and bonked my head right into the camera and took it off of where it was supposed to be. And I spent the better part last night of 2 hours trying to get the camera to look right on where the angle was. And you can see, I still can't get the landing zone in. I don't know what I did the first time, but cannot get it to work. And so here we are. So it's a little bit off. It looks good color-wise, but you can't see the full landing zone. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, good morning, everybody. And of course, Memorial Day episode here. I got lots to talk about with you, but why don't we start off like we always do with our 4-roll challenge, and I've renamed it to the 4 rolls to goal challenge. Originally, Brian at Hawaii Crap Shooters created this idea of like, hey, you're on your way out of the casino, you got $350 left in your rack, and you want to hit your goal, or you want to just, what's your kind of your walk out of the casino thing that you're going to do? And I'm kind of rethinking my life in terms of how I play craps, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And I thought, let's try this as a 4 rolls to goal type of thing. And let's just set a simple goal of like $50, right? At a 350, let's just make a small goal and just see, can you get there in 4 rolls? And that's what I want to look at today is that. So I'm going to take this bankroll. We're going to follow the puck because I'm going to bypass the come out roll. And we'll just set up a more normal, average person's sort of spread and not just dump the whole bankroll out here and see. It's for 2 reasons. One, right? Can I have 4 decent rolls? But more importantly, can I work the bets out here over 4 rolls to get a simple goal of, let's just call it $50, which even is more than I would probably say with this small of a bankroll. But let's try it out and see. Let's go with a simple 110 inside, like so, and we'll call it that for now. Let's just go 110 inside. Actually, what I might do is we'll say, to increase targets, we'll go 160 across. We'll grab the 4 and the 10 on the way. I'm not going to burn money on the hard ways. I'm just going to play a straight up strategy in here, and we're going to try for 2 hits. Hopefully we get a sister hit. I'd like to get something in here to hit, press up and hit it again. But if not, we're looking for 2 inside hits or 1 outside hit to get our $50 and be out. So it's going to be an exercise in dice rolling, number 1, but also in 2 things. One is not going out here super heavy and burning your entire stack, having really 2 cracks at it here. And the second thing is working it up from the bottom. So a lot of approaches here, but let's just try it this way, see what happens, and then we'll come back and start talking. Here's our first roll today. Dice are out. It's going to be a shocker. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't do a thing. Love that first roll ugliness. All right. Straight up hard ways too, by the way. Much better result there. It's an 8. I like the way these dice are landing here today. There's an 8. All right. Let's get a couple of hits if we can pull it off here. Okay, we're set, and out we go. There's a 3, 2, 5. So again, the choice here is this. I'm looking to be a small goal, right? At $50, you can say, well, we're a little better than halfway home right now. And, Waylon's been doing the 1 hit, turn them off, 1 hit, turn them off. Well, here we're going to get it done in 4 rolls. And by the way, that's 2 rolls. So we're not going to turn off, but I'm going to take this $25 and get nickels for it. And I am going to go ahead and grab 15 on each of the 4 and 5. I'm going to bring them both to $45, or I'm sorry, to $40. We will rack a nickel, and if we get a sister hit here, we'll for sure be done. If not, it may take us 1 more extra hit. And matter of fact, if it's not a sister hit, we're still going to be there. No matter what hits here, if we get an inside hit, we're going to be okay. Just going for a little bit extra there. There's a 1, 2, 3, ace, deuce. That's roll 3. And here's our last one. get me a 9 here, huh? Ugh, it's a 7. So not only do we not get 2 goal, we get wiped and would have to go out here and play it again. And I'll take your votes in chat. It's a fail, right? We didn't get there in 4 rolls. We had 3 rolls and a 7, which will happen. For the purposes of this challenge, should we play it again? Should I take what I have left out here and come back up for another 160 and take shot 2, right? Which, you know, again, certainly possible to do. I've got the money to do it in the rack and take another crack at it. Or is it just 4 rolls and trying to get out, right? I'm going to take another quick crack at it and just see. We got a couple minutes here. It's a Monday. 325. That'll be our point. Let's just take our new set of 3 rolls. We're going to have to work a little harder here to get to it. But the purpose of not going all out there on the felt was to have 2 shots at it. There's a 9. Would have liked that last hand. 5, 4, 9. That's roll 1. There's $35. Again, we'll do it with nickels on the quarter. Let's take these both to 40. Okay, here we go. There's an 8. It pays $35. I'm going to actually take and drop a nickel to get pennies. That'll give us 36. We're going to press them both by 18 up to 48. All right, there we go. Those 2 are pressed all the way up. A tiny bit of hand, just roll 2. Again, simple, no thinking about it kind of a strategy. There's a 7. So there it is. So we burned it today. Some days it ain't your day, I guess, right? And that's what I want to talk about. I'm actually kind of happy that this happened. I would have liked to have won, obviously, but it's good to have, you know, an ugly result on a day where you want to talk about ugly results. And that was kind of the point of today's show, was to get into kind of like how my weekend went from a crap standpoint and just kind of reevaluating some of the things that I like to do and the things I talk about. So let me get back over here to the camera. Let's just talk to you for a minute. Okay, there's that. Okay, cool. We're seeing all the things. It's been a hot minute since we've been together. You know, I filmed those 2 episodes last week. God, it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I filmed 2, put them up as premieres, and then we watched them together when I was down at Zach's house. Actually, I drove down to see my son over the weekend and was able to kind of be in chat with you all, watch the videos, and that was cool. But I miss hanging out with you all, and just getting to say what's on my mind. You know, I mean, sometimes it's political, sometimes it's whatever. You know, today it's one of these days where it's Memorial Day. I'm sorry, I got to change my screen here. It's Memorial Day today, and it gets you thinking about a lot of things, right? Memorial Day is one of those days where it's a holiday, but it's not a celebratory holiday. I mean, it kind of is, but we've got in our community a lot of guys I know that are current active military, guys that have served, and also people who have sons that are in the military, that are currently in the military, people who have lost family members. And as somebody who spends his days teaching military guys, right? Most of my students, the better part, 50% or more or so, are former military that are kind of changing their lives out here. So I get to work with military every day, and I really appreciate everything, not just the sacrifice, but like the willingness to run towards the danger, right? And I think that's an interesting mindset. When I was younger, I'll tell you a story. I always wanted to be in the military. When I was in high school, that was my dream. My dream was to fly choppers. I wanted to fly an Apache more than anything in the world. Unfortunately, when I was a junior in high school, I broke my back. You guys know the story. Wrestling, and I'm blind, right? I'm not blind, but I can't see that good. So my vision and my back both preclude me from ever even joining the military, let alone being a pilot. So that dream had to end then. And since then, it's like I've just got this real kind of connection and affinity for my brethren that are served. So anyway, thanks to you all. And I know this is a somber day, but hopefully, you know, all of us here can kind of, I don't know, lift up a little bit. That's kind of the idea. Anyway, what kind of player are you is the question, right? I'm going to go into that in a second. Let's run through quickly the updates. There's not a whole lot of updates. We had a glitch on Thursday with Deal Me In with Anthony. I think we got it fixed. He got some actual cables. So he's wired into his wall instead of going through Wi-Fi. His headset is Bluetooth, but he's got something different with a Bluetooth kind of amplifier from where he's sitting. Should be okay. We're going to record Thursday's episode, pre-record it and upload it. It'll be a premiere. We'll be there, but we want to make sure that we got the quality video. So that's happening there. Friday Night Fights, we're going to go back. The guy who couldn't do it because he had concert tickets, hopefully we had a good concert, back on top of the challenger pile. We'll take on Sideshow on Friday, and Craps Chat from Jeff will be this weekend. So he skipped last night for Memorial Day. He's going to do it again this coming Sunday. So that's your kind of schedule update there. Again, make sure if you're not already there, jump in Discord and let's chat about stuff. So Discord's fun. The Crapping Out Cancer update is this, and Ian has been talking about this in chat. He and I are working with our local casinos here in Washington to get a 24-hour whole telethon filmed from inside a casino. That's the idea here. So we're working with them. He and Steve are going to work together. Steve from Press by One, who's the reason why we're doing all this, by the way. Steve's the impetus for it. It was his idea to do it. We're just going to be the vehicle, just because we've done it before, and that's really it. So more updates to come. It's going to come fast and furious. We're going to work with the casino. We're going to get a date, and it's just going to happen. So be ready for it, for the announcement of when it's going to be. I'll let you know, of course. So there is that. What else is happening in the world of craps? I think we've got, let's see. I think we had a Pass the Rack challenge. I think George got it last week. George did yeoman's work, right, and won all that money back for everybody. I think he passed it over to Bird Dog. Had not yet seen a video from Bird Dog, so I'm actually going to drop him a note and to see where he's at with it. But I think Bird Dog has the ball now, so we're going to see. And you guys will love Ed. Eddie's great. He's a chopper shooter like I am, so he's a fun guy to watch. So looking forward to seeing how he does with the Pass the Rack. And by the way, I want to go back to the Crapping Out Cancer because it's on here. I think I got to rename this slide actually. I'll do it after the show, Steve. I'm sorry, but we're going to call it. Steve wants to call this Craps for the Cure, because, and Steve, great idea, by the way, because we can do the same thing for cancer and for all other things, right? We can have, we can support other causes. And so Craps for the Cure makes it nice and generic, and it also does kind of roll off the tongue pretty good. So that's going to be the new name. I'll change the logo here, and at some point we'll get logos printed up and everything else. So I can envision us selling T-shirts and a bunch of other things ahead of time to kind of raise some money initially. I think we're going to do a better job than we did in our last telethon. So, all right, there's that. Let's see what else is happening. I want to know what kind of player you are. I asked this as part of the video title. It's here on a slide. What kind of player are you? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because this past weekend, I'm on a down streak right now. So I was doing really good. I had 8 or 9 wins in a row. And then I've had this really weird kind of ugly streak, and not like upside down car ugly, but ugly. Couldn't catch a roll. Zach and I went to the play down at Spirit Mountain, and we jumped in there and didn't bring a lot of money. Just wanted to, we bought dinner and sat and haven't seen him in a month. So we sat and chatted, played craps for literally 11 minutes, and everything was wrong. Everything about the table was wrong. It wasn't the same surface that it used to be. They made a bouncier surface. The guys around us were super sour, and none of the rolls matched. No matter what you did, none of the rolls matched. You go on the dark side, it would be 7, 7, 11, get a point. Okay, fine. Now you're on a point of 5 or something like that. You put a come bet out there, and the guy would go to the sister number, and we're doing great. Hits the point, you're out. Hits the 7, and you're out. And we hit every single down thing. So we switch. Okay, cool. I get the dice. I threw 5 or 6. Wasn't a long roll, but let me go inside, and I'll do the inside press. Inside press. Inside. Nope. 7. And that happened to me 3 times between me and other players. And I found myself playing straight up dark side. I went to the inside. And I'm like jumping around trying to like, what's the rhythm of this table? There's no rhythm to that table. There was nothing there. And so I lost a little bit. Okay. Coming back home, I stopped off at Alani Casino, which if you know in Washington, Alani is down by Portland. I'm telling you what, that's the best tables I've seen around here. They're great. They're super hard services. They're really fair. The dealers are fun. Did awesome. In terms of throwing, the lady next to me did great. And here's the problem. I bought in, and I with the lady next to me and get this, right? She walks up with like $50 and a piece of paper. She puts the $50 and a piece of paper down on the pass line. I'm like, oh God, she's just trying to burn her slot machine money. I put $25 on the don't pass. She rolls a 5, and then she rolls 40 numbers. I mean, not 40, but she rolled forever. And that horseman turned into making back what I had lost at the other place. And plus a little extra, actually, which was really cool. However, I was next to throw, and I really wanted to throw on that table. So I get the dice, and I'm on stick. I'm on the hook on the right side, way in the back, and it's a 14-foot table. And as much as I like the table, throwing from back there, the way that I throw was not comfortable, wasn't a good throw. I went dark side. I went from the don't. I threw 2 inside numbers, and then I went 66 inside. Actually, I went 66. I went more than that. I went 30. I didn't go quite one. I forget. Anyway, I went 30 on the 6 and 8 and 15 on the 5 and 9. And I threw a 6, and then I threw a 7. Just like that. They were awful throws, and I was out. And just like that, I put back all the money that I'd won. What I should have done, and you know me, walk out, right? I did zero discipline. Like I wanted to throw so bad. I blew the money that I'd won, and because I wanted to throw. I wanted to get some practice time on that table. And the way home, I'm like, well, you got back your money that you lost at the other place, but you really were dishonorable to the way that you normally play and what you teach. And had I been with anybody who knows me at the table that day, they would have hammered me for it, right? Which is not a good. Both nights were not a good performance. First night, trying to chase what I could find, trying to outthink the table, or you can't outthink the dice, right? The second night is not being disciplined because I wanted to throw. And I realized a couple of things. One is, without a firm goal and without focus, I was getting out. I should have got out, and I didn't, or I should have burned the whole 500 and been like, let's just play it skill and luck style. Let's just go regress and go for the ceiling every single time and use it to make a home run. And that's where this screen comes from. It's like, what are you doing at the casino? And the whole way home, I was thinking, what the hell are you doing? And of course, I stopped at another place on the way home. I did the little casino crawl of Washington, and I stopped again, and basically treaded water. I think I lost like $50 or something, right? Same thing, right? I was like, I'm going to be disciplined, and I just couldn't catch it. And so sometimes luck is not with you, but sometimes it's here. So here it is. What kind of craps player are you? Are you going to the casino to build a bankroll, right? In which case you have to be disciplined. You're buying in for X, you're risking X, you're going to pull out Y, and you're going to go home, which is what I normally do. And I'm normally pretty disciplined when I play there. Are you going there as a job or earning a second income? Like, are you retired and you're doing this to earn some extra cash? Like actually using it to make money with it, right? Are you looking to go and just rock it? Are you bringing 5K and looking to win 5K? You're looking to double your bankroll, right? You're going there to score, in which case you play differently, right? Or you're going out there for a night out with friends. And I think that's the questions. I think I forgot to ask myself those questions on the way in. I forgot to say, am I here to build? Am I here, to earn? Am I here to just try and, score huge today? Am I here just because it was fun? No, when I'm by myself, I'm not there to have fun. And I guess there's another option too, which is, are you there to practice? And I think that's where I didn't go in the door thinking that, but I left thinking I was happy to get some practice in. And I thought, you know what? Sometimes you can sit here on our shows, right? We can play the inside press, and we can play the double trouble strategy and all the things we like to do. And it's going to work. It's going to work. And then you go to the casino and you're like, okay, well, I got $500. And if I go $500 and I go $30 6, $30 8, right? And we press it. And now, we parlay them up to 48, and then you regress down to 30, and you go up again, and you stay at 6, and you keep working that thing up. It works great here. It worked good on win craps. You saw we made money on win craps. You go there with your own money and you're like, well, shit, 3 people in a row, 7 out. You never get the 6, right? So you're out there for, $60 3 times in a row before you even get one ability to press. And you're like, well, shit, with my actual money, this didn't work so well. And I was like, I felt like I wanted to chase that down for some reason. And I like totally lost my head. And that's where I was getting kind of ticked off. And I'm like, well, you can't really just go chase it down. That's not the way to do it. If you're here to practice and say, does this strategy work in a live casino? The same as it works here when I'm rolling. You got to be willing to do that and say, I'm here to practice. If it costs me $500 to practice today, just like it cost me golf lessons money, a set of clubs, and the greens fees, right? If I look at that as the cost of doing business, fine. You wouldn't chase. You would run your strategy all the way through, and go to stop loss, whatever, to see it work out. I went into the casino with the wrong mindset, and I got burned over the weekend. I didn't walk away with anything other than a bruised ego. Like, man, you should have played that better. I'm still thinking I should have played that better in so many ways, right? So mea culpa, I should have done a better job on myself, but it does get me to remember to ask myself, why am I going today? I think why I'm going today, it informs me of how I'm going to approach, how much bankroll am I bringing, number one, if I'm going to have fun or hit a home run or whatever, if I'm going to make money to live on or second income or whatever, my bankroll size is different, right? My win goal is different, right? If I'm looking for the home run, I'm bringing 5, looking to win 5. If I'm looking to build a bankroll, I'm bringing 5, looking to make 1. There's a whole different mindset there, which changes the play style, right? 160 across like we did this morning, a couple hits get out. I couldn't even do that today, right? Versus, 66 to 88 to 44 and then go for the ceiling, which is the home run style of play. Different mindset. What's my goal is different. And I think your goal informs the way that you're going to kind of hit it, the way that you're going to approach your table. And I think it would keep me away from, or should keep you away from, doing what I tried to do at Spirit Mountain, which was chase the table. There's no chasing a shitty table. And you got to realize that the dice are going to do what the dice are going to do. So there we go. So that's it. That's what I had to say about that. Know what kind of player you are and know what your goals are, and your goals are going to inform the way that you play. I think that's an important bit of it. Okay, so who am I? All right, I did some reflection. Who am I? Today, 90% of the time, I got to be in this mode. I'm in build a bankroll mode, right? I told you before, we burned most of our bankroll, helping out with school loans and that kind of thing for the kids. So there is no huge bankroll. So I got to build that back up. And I can't build that back up by going with 500, looking to win 1,000 5 days a week. It ain't going to happen. We all know it ain't going to happen. And that's the wrong goal to have. So my discipline has to be a 10 out of 10. I got to be on point. I got to limit myself. And I say limit myself. The general rule of gambling is you limit your losses, not your wins, right? But when I get to 20, 25%, I'm locking that. So I'm not limiting how much I can win, but I'm locking in when I get to a goal. And I was actually at 40% down there on Saturday, and I didn't lock it in. I put the 40% back at risk, right? And so I ended up, I put 25% of that at risk, and I lost it. You got to be on point. Know what your goal is, right? Here, I'm a stop loss zero. You know me, I'm a stop loss zero player, not because I'm aggressive, but I feel like the money that I bring that much money because I think I need that much money to make the goal happen. If you're bringing, $10,000, you need 20 shots to win 1 unit of 500. So you gotta know what your goal is, I guess, and bring the bankroll to make the goal. And that bankroll, you need it all. And I'm a zero loss guy, stop loss zero guy. When I'm looking to build a bankroll, my strategies that I play are generally they're gonna be lightly aggressive. They're gonna likely be hybrid-ish to some degree, because I wanna not so much grind at it, but I want to give myself the best chance of getting to 25%. Today, right, that would have been a decent get 20% kind of a strategy, right? A couple hits and you're out of there, and do it a few times, whatever, right? That would be what you'd want. I want to be in and out quick when I'm doing this I want to be out. I want 4 or 5 wins max to get to my goal. I don't want to be out there with $500 winning $8 every single time and having to win $8, whatever it is, 26 times to win my goal. I want to be out there at higher bet sizes. So I only need 4 or 5 wins to get there. Today, I would have needed 2 wins to get there if I could have just got 2 wins. That's the idea. When I'm in second income mode, when I'm in the mode of I'm going to go off in to feed up on our other account so we can go on trips and kind of like second income the thing, it's different. I still have to have 10 out of 10 discipline. I'm still stop loss 0. My goal is going to be lower because I'm going to be betting a lot more. I'm going to go in there and be like an assassin. It's going to be, bigger bet amounts, 1 or 2 hits, like our YOLO sessions. Get in and get out. I'm not going there to have fun. If I'm going there to make second income money, I'm not going there to have fun. I'm not going there to grind. Not doing that, right? That's a different level of aggression than the other way, than going this way here where I'm trying to build. So building a little more grindy, a little more slow, a little more smaller bets, 4 or 5 wins and out, protect your bankroll. Going there to earn second income, it's different. It's a 1 or 2 hits and out mindset. It's going to work every day. If I'm looking to make a home run, if I'm looking to like go to Vegas, and here's the other, I didn't put this on screen, but when I go to Vegas in June, I'm not going for either one of these reasons. I'm not going to Vegas to build a bankroll. I'm not going to Vegas to earn second income money. I'm going to Vegas to whack them, right? My strategies that I bring and the bankroll I bring to Vegas will be different than here in Seattle. Because here in Seattle, I'm on a plan. In Vegas, my plan is to have fun, A, play with y'all, B, and make a shit ton of money, C, right? So the strategy that I've been practicing here and doing the win craps things on, I'm doing that for the purposes of practicing that. Does that make sense, everybody? And I think also when you look at, am I here for second income or am I here for building a bankroll, the practice, what I practice is different. So I've got to practice the quick hit. I got to practice the aggressive pressing, or I got to practice not doing either of those things. And I think I've got to get my head right. And I think that's the thing. I'm looking for one and out or 4 and out. There's a different way to play, different mindset, different bets I'm putting out there. And I think it's got to be, you got to get on point. That's what I'm saying. So there it is. There's my thoughts for the day. Knowing what kind of player you are. And again, on every given day, it's different. For those of you who play purely math-based system, that's fine. Let me actually show you what I'm talking about here. Let me go back to the table. I think our KPIs will show here in a minute too. Hopefully, come on, there we go. I'm going to zero these out as well because we'll play a little bit. If you're like a mathematically bound person and you just want to do the pass line with odds, that's fine, right? But what if? And let me throw this out. There's 5. I'm going to get $100 here. Actually, I'll do quarters. I'll do quarters because we have some moves we can make with quarters at least. Let me get 20 quarters out. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I think I need 3 more. All right, there's $500. It's 5 stacks of 5 quarters. All right, 20 units. And I do a lot of things. Let me get this out of the way here. I do a lot of things with unit-based betting, as you know, right? So to me, from 20 units to win 1 unit. Let's just look at that as a simple goal. Let's say that we're in second income mode, right? And we're going to use 20 units to win 1 unit. And no, a quarter is not what I'm looking with second income for, right? If 20 units were this color, purple, and you're going to win 1 unit, you're winning 1 $500 chip every day. That's where I'm headed, okay? But you practice this at this level, You practice with greens and reds, and if I go to the casino every day, or twice or 3 times a week, with 500, 20 chips, and I can win 1 chip out of those 20 on the regular, then I know that that's going to work when I'm at this level again, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for. But all that aside, what do you practice when you're here? Practice working with a number of units to win a number of units. We did this before, the 3-unit challenge. Remember back in the day, take your units. And back then it was 15 units. I would say, fine, take 20 units and win 3, which is $75. That's an okay win. That's 30% or whatever, 27% or something like that out of 500. That's not 20%. 10% is 50. It's $75 is like 18% or something like that. That's an okay win if you can get it on the regular. So when I practice stuff, you know, we do a lot of practicing of strategies here on the show, only for the purpose of showing off different ways to play. But really, when it comes down to what are you going to do in the house, this is what I'm talking about. Now, if you're a math guy, you're going to go pass line, and your goal is to win 1 unit. Let's get a number. Point will be 9, okay? Your goal is to win 1 unit. Question I have for you is, do you do this? Do you put your 4 times odds back there? Or 1 times or 2 times? Do you increase your risk and your exposure, like so, when your goal is to win 1? No, right? Even though this is the best, quote unquote, you know, house edge you're gonna find, do you do this to win that? Right, that's a question you have to ask yourself. Like if your goal is, and let's change the color. If you're purple level and your goal is to win 1 purple chip, do you go out there with that? Right? It's no different from a unit standpoint, but you know, you're gonna tell me, oh God, you're gonna just go out there and try and win a stinking quarter. What's the point of that? Right? The point of that is that I practice winning a quarter, and then we're practicing winning hundreds, winning blacks, and then we're practicing winning purples, right? And I want to know, again, from your mind, what kind of player are you? Are you looking here? Are you looking here? Are you going to go just single odds? $30 back there you'd need to make that work. That's a question you've got to ask yourself. It's like, what's my actual goal to win 1 unit, right? If I'm just going to do this, and that's fine to go out here and go and win 1, right? Limit your exposure. There's a 6, there's an 8. Let your 20 units work for you. There's my 9, right? There's my goal. And if I'm doing 1 unit goal, then I'm out. If my goal was to win 3, I may have put 2 out there, right? And 1, 3 on the back, and then I'm out of the game. That would have been a way to do this and be in and out quickly. But again, it's not about the strategy here that you're playing. It's about your brain on the way in. And what is your brain telling you to do to get what you're looking for? And I think that's where I struggled all weekend. I'm like, what am I? And again, on the car ride home, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? What's my actual goal today? Is my goal today to win? Take 400, which I bought him for Alani, take 400 and make 400 look like 700 or 800? Or is to make 400 look like 550 to replace the 150 that I lost, right? Which was still more than a normal 20% goal, but it's what I went for. And then I went on tilt at the end of it, which was stupid. I ended up being where I needed to be and then not being where I needed to be because I was so greedy about having a chance to shoot the dice on that table. You know, again, your brain sometimes can be your worst. There's a 7 right there. Your brain can be your worst enemy sometimes. So let's go ahead and take this 500 and let's just go and play. I'm going to play the Horseman for a little bit. I haven't rolled the Horseman in front of you in a while. I did this all weekend. The only times I made money this weekend, honestly, were with come bets. The come bets are what made me the money. Placing numbers, I never caught a rhythm up there, but the come bet seemed to be okay for me. So let's just play the Horseman. Do the Horseman with the $500, which is not a lot, a little bit more aggressively than you probably see me do. So we'll do a $10 table. We'll run the Horseman out. And let's just play and have some fun here on a Memorial Day. So I'm gonna get my roll tracker set up. I'm gonna get the cursor in here. We're gonna go ahead and roll it out and just play. Let's see if we can't catch better rhythm here than we did before. So I'm gonna take a quarter to the don't. I'm gonna take $50 and get some nickels, like so. And I'll show you what I do, or what I did anyway, on the times this weekend where I did okay. And I'm just gonna throw randomly. There's a 5, there's a 3 and a 2. There's our first point. So 3, 2, 5. Now, what I did early, and the woman, actually it's funny, the woman who had the longer roll, she did this and I went right here. I went immediately and laid it for 60 bucks. Right out of the gate, I put 60 bucks out there. And again, I only had 400 bucks, but I was trying to do a quick hit type of thing. When I realized that I was gonna shoot next, I walked up, she had the dice, and I thought, I'm shooting next, I'm gonna get in and get out. And it's a $10 combat. So now we're going like full on, give me a 7. And we'll see what happens here. But she rolled like this. She actually did this. She rolled a lot of outside numbers. She was on the 4 and the 10 more than anything else. And again, the doer's like, you want odds? You want odds? You want? I'm like, fuck, leave me alone, guys. Let me just play. And there's my 7. So in this case, we 7 out. We lose the 4. We get paid in the cum. And whoops, down the bottom, as I knock my chips over, we get paid pretty well down there. Let's take a look at where we're gonna end up here. It's gonna be a quarter down here. And again, laying 60 against the 5. That's 40 coming back. Now let's take a look at the rack really quick. Let's add all this up, because here's where I started. And there's what's coming back, right? So we have there's our 500 that we started with. And here is, I take the reds and put them back in the rack. There's 50. There's 65 bucks in reds off the first shooter. Not bad, right? Not quite a goal, but not bad. Let's do it again. Let's take another 25. Again, we'll go 25. If I can get set up, I'll get aggressive. You'll watch the way that I get aggressive. I didn't mark any of those numbers, by the way. That was a 9. What was that, a 9 for the point, or a 5 for the point, rather, sorry. I gotta delete both of those. The point was a 5, right? 325. And then we had the 9, and then we had the 7. Okay, there we go. All right, back on the don't again we go. Here we go. Randy Randerson, 549. Okay, and a $10 combat. I'm just gonna lay 30 here. Because normally I would lay 30. I would not lay the 60. I laid 60 because I had a feeling that day, which again, never play a thing because of a feeling, but I did, and that was a pretty bad idea. There's a 5, 4, 9. So we lose or don't. We give back at a 65, we won. We just gave back 55 of it. This goes to the 9. The puck is off. That's working. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll drop odds and let them work. I've decided to not do that. I've gotten burned more than I've won on this, so I've unless it's a 6 or an 8, I'm not adding odds to these things and letting them work. I'm just gonna let the cum bet itself do its thing. Again, try not to go on tilt and be extra aggressive with a short bankroll. So there's a 415. There's our point. And now I'm back out. Notice I didn't come back out with a new DP, right? Once I get burned by a shooter, right? I'm not letting them burn me a second time. And I'm glad I didn't. There's another 5. So now I'm here and the puck is off. There's a 516 for our point. Not sure if you guys can see if you can see the landing zone very well. I know it's not ideal, but like I said, I ruined my camera. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have been in the cum. That's the cum, it goes to the 10. Now I've got the 5, the 9, and the 10 as cum bets, right? And here's where the horseman gets weird, which is like, I don't have a DP right now because I'm not gonna chase getting burned down here in the same shooter, but I do have these bets up, right? And what I will definitely do, and again, I'm not gonna go nuts with it. I'll get a little bit, just one unit odds back here on the 5 and 9. Let those things play themselves out. The 10, I'm not grabbing odds on the 10. At least I haven't been. It's not the worst bet in the world to do this, to put odds on your 10. I didn't put that in, by the way, 5, 5, 10. It's not the worst thing in the world to put odds on the 10, but did I miss one? I did miss one. Sorry, I'm talking too much. I haven't done the roll tracker here in a week, so that's gonna be a 6, Sorry, 4, 2, 6, and then the 5, 5, 10. There we go. 10 should be our new point, I think. All right. Anyway, I realize this is the right play to make here is to put some odds on that, but with a shortened stack, I haven't been, although I've been seeing people hit them. So it doesn't matter, right? From a probability standpoint, I'm going to stick with odds on the insides and let them go on the outside for now. And of course, as we say that, right, we get this, a 6, 4, 10. Had I put odds on it, we'd have been in great shape, but we didn't. We're going to get paid here on the 10. The 6 is still happening. This is going to come down. And I'm going to go back out. So I've been playing the horseman once I get set up, Molly style. I've been working additional bets. And again, always from the don't pass being kind of home. It goes to the 6. And on the 6, I'll put 20. I'll put double odds up there on the 6. And here's my like 3-point Johnny sort of way of playing the horseman. But again, not from down here once somebody's proven that they can beat me. So 4, 2, 6. All right, let's come back out. Now everything's working here. I'll work my odds on this come out. You'll see it's a dangerous move to do this, but again, this is one of those kind of on tilt kind of moves that I have to wrestle with. Right? I know that I've got an advantage probability standpoint over the 7. Right? I've got 5 ways to win here, and I've got 8 ways to win here. So I'm 13 ways out of 19 ways to win on these numbers versus the 7. 13 out of 19 is my probability advantage here. I'll leave the odds on. I get burned by this enough, but to me it just feels like it's what I want to do. I don't know. I think it's the experts will tell you that it's wrong and stupid, but you do get enough hits, I think, coming out to make it worth it. Here we go. All right, now we're running. There's a 4. And there's a 6, which is great. So one of them comes down and gets paid. That's going to get paid flat, $10. And I don't have any ones to do it, so it's 24 on the back side. And we're going to leave the next one coming and bring back some dough into the rack. Did I mark that 6 up? I did. Okay, here we go. All right, we got a 7. Okay, that's not what you want, obviously, but I didn't want to have a roll that was outside the realm of normal. So we'll lose in here, get paid in there, and come on back. And I think we're going to be still down by a bit. If I were to take these, there's 25. There's 25. So I'm back to 1, 2, 3, $400, right? So we're down a little bit. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3 sets of 5 chips, not 4 chips. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I am down $5 at this point. So we earned back a little bit. We're down $5. I'm okay with that for the purposes of getting out of the gate. And again, here it is. This is where what kind of player are you? The mindset comes into it. I want you to think about what you just saw. Okay, we saw a person go. What we go between 7s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rolls, right? 11 rolls between 7s, 2 9s, 2 5s, 2 10s, 2 3 6s. Really good inside roll, right? And again, I come out of this thing with, let me do some come betting, which is safe, which is respectful of my bankroll, and I'm not going on tilt, right? Here's a case where come betting hurt me because I didn't get on those rolls to get them paid quick enough, right? I only got paid on one of them, 2 of them. I got paid on the 10 and the 6, and that was it. Had I been inside betting, right, we would have been okay. We would have gotten paid on the second 9, on the second 5, on the second 10, actually on both 10s. No, I wouldn't have got paid on the 10s. On the second 6. We would have got 3 hits. The second 9, the second 5, the second 6 in that last series would have paid us. So we got hit twice instead of 3 times by doing the come betting thing. It's again, this is where you start questioning yourself. And I spent the weekend going, shit, should I be doing it this way, or should I be actually going out here and hammering the box? Now, here's what you can do. Go, wow, I'm doing great, or the rolls are going good. I'm going to abandon that strategy and come up in here and go with the pressure strategy. We'll go 66, full press, right? Not enough bankroll to support that strategy. If I go 66 to 88 to whatever, to 110 to 132, and then I burn it, I don't have enough bankroll to keep throwing 132 out there on the sevens, right? And that's where I wanted to see it work, but it didn't. But it wasn't enough here to make that happen. So we're gonna go again with the base horseman and work it from the bottom up. I'm gonna work this thing on a safer kind of plan and try and build that way. Here we go. Get off tilt, play it straight, 55. We're on the 10 now. Point's gonna be a 10. And our first one comes out. And again, I'm gonna lay 30. Right, you could go gangbusters in here on that 10 if you wanted to. But again, the bankroll does not support laying this for 150 bucks or 200 bucks. I don't have enough in here to get wickedly aggressive, especially when I'm in kind of builder mode. So there's a 4-3-7, which worked out. We get, 10 there, we get 15 here and 25 down there, and we're building our way back to a little bit of health at least. So that's kind of good. Let's go ahead and take all this back. We get the rack right. So now we have, there's 50. All right, there is the bankroll. The bankroll now is reset. There's four slots of 5 greens, and we're back to this being profit. So we're back to we earned back what we lost out there. If I add this up, there's 25, there's 25, and here's 24, right? So if my goal was 3 units, I'm done, right? Chasing that dollar, by the way, has been the death of so many gamblers, right? So we earned our way back. We're at goal. This is where I have to say to myself, it's time to get out, right? You don't want to limit your losses or your wins. You want to limit your losses, not your wins. If I come back in here, my wins where it should have been. If we're still in the middle of a roll, which we're not, mark that 7 up, by the way. If you're in the middle of a roll, don't limit your wins. Keep on playing. The roll ended, and we're looking at a rack that has exactly what we need in it. Time to go home. This has got to be good here, right? It's got to be good enough to leave, and that's, I think, the mindset of what kind of player are you? That's where the question comes in. This is where I was in this spot probably 3 different times at 3 different casinos and said, well, I really want to see that inside strategy work. Or I actually did the 6 and 8 thing, and I wanted to see it work. I want to see that thing go. And so, okay, cool, let's do it. I got it. I got 66 bucks. Let's go 66 inside and see what happens. Let's see what happens. And then the dice come to you, and you're like, cool, we're at 66 inside, and look at me burn here. I'm gonna go gangbusters. Let's just, for the grins of it, do it. There's 25. There's 25, there's 15, right? And now we've taken our $75 profit, we've turned it into an $8 profit. We're gonna come back out to a 6. And now we're relying on lady luck, not our wits. This is a guts, stupid ass move that we're doing here. Maybe it'll work out for us, I don't know, right? But when you get greedy and say, well, I want that extra buck. Okay, we got an 8 here. That pays 21, as you know. 21. Now, right here, we got our goal. We hit our goal, right? We hit our, here's 2 ways to do this, right? You hit your $75 goal. You can pull this back, 66, and here's your extra money, right? What can you do? Should you, again, lock up your wins and not limit your losses and not your wins at this point? Is that what you should do? Pull this all back and have like 10 bucks to go through the come with and try and build it from there? Because it's not enough. right? I could pull this back. There's $60 down there. There's 70, there's 75, right? There's a nickel plus the whites plus what I have here. This is what I would have. I could pull $75 back and I'd have 10, 15 bucks left, 19 bucks. 19 bucks is not enough to do anything with, right? So either I pull back right now with that extra hit and walk away with 90 bucks in profit, or you leave it out here and you risk being ahead, or you follow the strategy and you go practice time. Let's take the 21 we won, add one, and press her up, which is what I was doing all weekend. I'm like, let me try this. Let's get this out in front of people. Let's go do the 66 permanent press. Let's do a permanent press and make this damn thing work, shall we? And there's the 7. And this is what happened to John over the weekend, 527. I'm like, well, I wanted to see it. I wanted to try it. Let's get it out there. I was at my goal and frick, now I'm out. Now I'm here. And I'm like, well, that would have been really cool had that worked. You know, why couldn't you just throw me another 8? And now look where my profit is. I went from having over profit and maybe 16 bucks. And here's the thing, I had that 16 or 19 bucks there. If I would have taken that and done what I should have done and come to the come for one bet and taken the 9 or whatever it was and go odds with that one bet, or maybe a second come bet, right? We'd have had money in the bank and we would have won on the 7 in here, right? But again, when you diverge from what you started to do and you can work your ass off and make these great strategies. I know guys who spend hours in spreadsheets and math and looking at all the different outcomes, and they have a plan. And then you go there and you're here, right? And you're here and you see an 11 roller like we saw. They go, wow, this is my plan, but man, we could have been at goal. If we'd have been in here instead, we would have been at our goal, right? And the ifs and buts kind of thing gets in your head. So that's where it's at for me. I just want to put it out there to y'all that knowing the kind of player that you are in general and the kind of player that you are in that session, that you plan to be in that session, I think matters. I think it informs everything. So there you go. All right. That's it. John, I got a feeling. I don't like having a feeling. This is the problem, right? When I play with I got a feeling something's going to happen, I get screwed every single time, right? I'm so glad that rolled a 7 there, because that's awful. Oh, good. CCC is saying we can see the roll. That's good. I'm glad you can see them. I'm dragging them to the middle so I know you can see them, but yeah. Dude, I spent so much time on that camera yesterday. I was down here swearing like a sailor, trying to get that thing to work right. I could not get the same angle from before. So, all right. Finishing my coffee up here. Let's go back to you. Let's see, where's my picture? All right, cool, here we are. It was a fun session. I mean, pretty much what happened just now is what, like I said, what I did over the weekend, where I get up quick-ish and then I want to keep throwing, or get up quick-ish and I want to see the 6 and 8 parlay, get up quick-ish and I want to see the 66, and then you're down. What's the next move, right? When you're up by 60, whatever it was, up by 74 bucks, went out 66. I actually took a hit there, right? And so I went from 66 or 70, whatever, 74 plus 21, whatever that is. It's an even 100 actually. I was at an even $100, right? With that hit. And what did I do with it? Let's keep going. Let's see. You don't want to pull it out in the middle of the roll, right? Let's see what we have. What we ended up having was nothing. We ended up with $8 in profit. So it's a shame. And that's what I did to myself. And I just, again, got to be here. You got to be here, right? Yeah, old PS, Bob, you're right. If you want to gamble, day trade Bitcoin. That's great. If you're going to, and again, I want to say this, right? Let's go back to the other screen. I think it's an important point to make. Let me find it here. Who are you? Because there's the gambler is on here too, right? The gambler is here too. And that's fine. If you want to be a gambler and go for it, maybe that's this looking to score big guy in the middle here. That's fine. But you got to know that going out there, right? But there's also the machine, right? And I could put more ideas here, right? You can be the machine gun guy, or a straight machine. Wayland's a good example of this, right? Wayland goes out there with his bankroll because he has enough bankroll to do it, and just plays and plays and plays and plays forever until he wins, because he has the bankroll to kind of withstand that. If your strategy is based on time, some strategies are based on, I'm going to do this for a long time, 150, 200 rolls, and I know that at the end of that, we're going to be able to survive, but we're going to be here. That's not really a grind. That's more of a system. Fine, if that's the kind of player that you're going to be. But you got to be that player. You can't do that and go, you know what? I feel like I need some more action elsewhere, and then start doing this other bullshit. Because like me, you're going to end up getting crushed by it. And when you've got a small bankroll like that, 400, 500 bucks, you can't survive getting crushed. You just can't. So I'm going to do some more focusing here on the morning shows. We're going to get into more, not low bankroll, but like 500 bucks and more consistent play. And I'm going to practice so that I can, get my groove back, A, and B, make sure my head's right. So I think I'm going to focus more on that as we go here, not just run out a bunch of crazy strategies and put 2K into the rack like I wouldn't do, right? Go back here and go out here and do it a little more normally. So anyway, there it is. That's my show today. It's 9 o'clock. I actually am working today, believe it or not, even though it's Memorial Day. I took Friday off instead of today. So I'm going to get to work. Appreciate y'all being here. There's like 30 people here today. That was great. I expected nobody on a holiday weekend. So appreciate y'all. Love y'all. More on this tomorrow. I'm going to be breaking down different player types over the week. I'm going to pull some win craps out as well. We're going to look at some strategies over the long term, and we'll see kind of the way that you would play the same strategy given which type of player, which type of action you're looking for. So there it is. Y'all have a great day. Again, thanks to y'all for being here. Veterans, families of veterans, retired, what have you. Thank you all for your service. We appreciate it. Land of the free because of the brave, right? So love y'all. Thanks. God bless. Have a good one.